Hey guys, it's Cindy A. Lewis, and I have my craft supplies with me because we're going to learn junk journals with me and cover the outside of our book cover today. This is part 3, and this binding, this book, is from a book that I gutted in part 2, and we are going to cover the outside of this book. Now, I've watched a lot of videos, and so we're going to try something and see how it works. This is some packaging paper similar to newsprint, so we're going to cover with this first. This is just one sheet. We won't need the whole thing because we have this book cover that is about, let's see, 8.5 and by about 5.5, with the binding, with the spine being a little less. Well, the actual spine would be about 1.5 inches. And I mentioned I want to make a patriotic junk journal, so I am going to cover, after we get the paper covered, then we're going to cover it with some fabric. We're just going to do the outside. I need my scissors, and I am going to try the recommended, Tombow Mono Aqua Mono Liquid Glue. One of the YouTubers that I watch uses this and loves it. She says it's easy to apply, and it is you know, fast and hard drying, so she really likes it. And there are other glues also. I love Aleene's tacky glue and thick designer tacky glue, but this is recommended and we're going to try it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the amount of the paper that I need to cover. So I'm going to flip that over. I'm going to have about an inch or two, maybe 1.5 inches on either side. So I'm going to cut that real quickly. Okay, I trimmed this up. Now we're going to glue this to the back, which will be the outside cover. If you notice, I am not in my normal habitat. I am actually on the road, and you can do crafts anywhere. Just take your little bit of supplies with you and enjoy your evening wherever you are. So first we're going to cover the spine because we want to work from the middle out. Okay, I'm just going to put that there. And now recommended, she evens it out to have no little ridges. So we're going to do that. And I'm just going to set this on here, and I'm going to smooth it out. Now, I didn't get any in the creases, and I do want to do that. And it is thickening up pretty quickly. Just going to add some more here and get down in these crevices, if you can see that, these crevices here. So I want to make sure I get down in there. Okay, and then I'm going to do that here as well. Being very careful since this is not my space, because I don't want to glue the book to this table that is not mine, which I wouldn't want to glue it to my table anyway. But I do want you to notice that there is some glue on the inside, but this is from the binding that was there already, and we're going to cover that in the next video. But we're doing the outside first. So we want to make sure we get this down, and now we're going to do this side. And from what I've seen, just spreading the glue well and then making sure you get it spread really well. Now I'm trying some different things. I'm not sure what I'm going to like the most. As I said, this is a learn with me. So we're learning together. And you can share whatever it is that you like to glue with. So we're going to glue this down. Okay, and I'm going to smear this with my finger, just like this, and get some glue in there. Now, I don't think it's as important for this part with the paper to get it as smooth as possible, because you know, this is not going to be seen anyway. But you do want to make sure you get any bubbles out, and you want to make sure that you smooth it as much as possible. Now, one thing that is recommended is making sure that you use the use of fabric because of paper tearing, because your book will be opening and closing a lot. So you want to make sure that you're applying it with enough space to open and close well. Now I'm going to do this side and we'll be right back. Okay, both sides of the outside cover have been covered with the newsprint paper, packaging paper. And it's okay if it's not even. And so now we're going to fold down and glue these edges down. But before we do that, I just wanted to crease it to make sure I know where my edges are going to be. And then to remove the extra, so it lays flatter, we're going to trim the corners like this, and we want to get fairly close to this corner here, these corners, so that you have a little bit. If you use the metal book corner protectors, you'll cover that anyway. But if you don't, then you will want to leave about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. So, and you could just leave paper for your your book cover if you desired to. But what my plan is to use this as one layer, and then to use the fabric as another layer. Layering just gives your book a little more sturdiness. Okay, so first I'm going to glue down the top and the bottom, starting with the center here. So I'm just going to add this here, making sure I get in and make sure that the crevices here where it folds have some room to bend. And I was watching I'm a Cool Mom, and she uses this. She loves this glue. And one thing that she said was she uses the fine tip. Oh, see, I ripped that. I'm sure it's okay, because we're going to cover it anyway. But I'm overdoing it, I think. So I just want to be sure I get it down. But anyway, she uses the fine tip because it doesn't push out as much glue, and that helps. All right. I've not really used this glue before, so we're trying it out for the very first time. And so I'm sure that's going to be fine. We're going to cover it anyway. Probably should have put the glue down first. Yeah. All right. So we're going to glue that down. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to glue this side down, and then I will show you the flaps. Okay, so these are glued down, and now we're going to glue this side down and pull it tight, making sure we tuck in these corners here. Okay. We're going to cover these with metal book corners anyway, but just in case. All right, so we're going to put our glue, and this is what we'll do on both sides. I'm not so worried because it's going to get covered inside again. Now this paper, if you do choose to do this layer, this paper is really thin. Okay, but I still want it to stay glued down well. And I keep checking my book to make sure that it closes and opens well. So let's glue this side down. I'm sorry I keep pausing here for a moment from you. Okay. And I'm going to make sure my corners are good, because I don't want them peeking out. One thing about using the liquid Aqua Mono liquid glue is it has room in the drying period for you to move and rearrange what you're gluing down, but yet it provides a strong hold, which is important in your junk journals. Okay, so we've got this layer down, and it's already starting to dry, which is good. So let's look at our fabric. Okay, I'm getting really excited about this whole thing. Okay, this fabric is a little square that I picked up from Walmart. I haven't even opened it. I think it was 98 cents. And it just seems like it would be the right size and probably just a little bit bigger than what I need. So basically we're gonna have the same measurement, but if you'll notice, this is a stripe. So I want my stripes to be as straight as possible. So I'm going to have to be careful with this. Now, I'm going to do the inside after I do the outside. So what I want to do, and I can see where they trimmed this fabric, they did not trim it evenly. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that, and then I'm going to trim down my fabric and give myself some room, probably not that much, probably about an inch or an inch and a half of fabric to come over. This is about an inch and a half, and I think that's what I'm going to go for as the edges to turn over. So I'm going to trim this up, and then we're going to put this on our cover. Okay, I'm still checking my binding, making sure it's bending okay while this glue is drying. So I've trimmed my fabric. This fabric is trimmed to, for my book of 8.5 by 5.5 for the front. This is 6, and notice I'm measuring with a 6-inch ruler, so that's 12, and 4 1/4. This is not precise measurement, by the way. This is 6. This is about 12 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the middle like I did with the paper. And I left about 4 of these lines down here, which kind of helped me. But it's going to help me also keep it straight. So when I do put it on, it's going to be real pretty. And then I'm going to put something on the front, maybe, I'm thinking a little frame, like one of the Seven Gypsies frames that I picked up, metal frames, or something from Tim Holtz, and I want to put a name in there. And then on the spine, I do want to put a ring clasp for a charm with some patriotic charms on it and maybe a tassel. I know this is for a gentleman and doesn't have to be too decorated, but I still think it would mean a lot. So we're going to start here in the middle. So I'm going to fold my fabric in half because I do want to know where the middle is. And I'm going to try to keep this as straight as possible. I'm going to start here. Now, mind you, this is my very first time. So if you see something I'm doing wrong, which I don't know if there's really a lot of things you can do wrong when you're making journals, but there are tips that everyone can give us so that we can do things better, quicker, more efficiently, more productively, or just save us some headache. So if you have any of those tips, we'd love to hear those in the comments. So now I am smoothing this glue out because I do want to make sure that all the crevices get some glue, all the edges, and then I also want to make sure that it is as smooth as possible. And you can see this isn't too awful because I haven't made a mess yet. So I folded my fabric in half and I'm going to eyeball this to the half. And I'm going to help myself. Now, you don't have to be as precise as I'm being, but because this fabric is got to be straight, I am going to do my very best. So it seems to be going on pretty easily. This is the spine here where the indentions are that fold. I am going to test that, seeing that I'm getting that pretty well. Okay, good deal. Here we go. You guys bearing with me, huh? All right, so what I'm gonna do is the same thing that I did with the paper, and I'm just gonna put this glue down and smooth it out and apply the fabric, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, this is the back or front of the journal, and I'm just smoothing this out. I did add some glue here, so I was trying to check that. All right. Okay. Now, I folded the journal, the book, because I wanted to make sure that it's straight as possible. Again, this fabric is going to need to be straight because of the stripes. It's going on really well. I have to say this glue is impressive to me. Never used it before. This is my very first time, my very first bottle of Tombow Aqua, I don't even know how you say it. Tombow Aqua Mono Liquid Glue. Anyway, so really impressive. All right, so just making sure that I've got all my bubbles out. Making sure that my crease is here, so that it can bend well. Okay, so now again, do the same thing to the inside, and I should let that dry, but I'm going to go ahead and do this so that we can finish the video. Again, I'm on the road, so going to trim these corners. Again, I hope you can see this. I'll show you really closely. Again, that's about how close I'm getting right there. Can you tell? All right, it's about 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch, and you don't need all this extra material at the corner. So you want to trim that away. Just don't get it too close, because then the paper would show through and you don't want that. All right, so making a quick binding here on the outside cover. Again, we're going to start in the middle, and fabric is really nice because it stretches and bends, and so that's really what you need with a book. that is going to be opening and closing. So our junk journal will be opening and closing a lot. And it may even be pretty full with signatures. And if you're unaware what a signature is, a signature are the papers that you put together to make your pages. So we'll be making some of those as well. And we want to get towards the edge. Now I am going to smooth this out because I just want it to be on well. We will be covering the inside on part 4. So we want to make sure that we get all of our bubbles out and stretch it as good as we can. So I'm going to do this top. This is looking really good. I'm so excited. Okay, the stripes might not be the best for the video though, I have to say. You'll have to let me know. Plus the lighting is probably not the best either since I'm out of town. This is the best we can do. Okay. All right. Alright, so I spread this, doing it really quickly. Oh, that's not down yet. Start in the middle. I want my creases to have creases where the book will be folding. Okay, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to glue down the sides, and then we'll be right back. Okay, I have a little bit of glue on my hands, but we are done with the outside covering. There's still some work we want to do on the inside. And we want to do some things with the spine, but as you can see, we've got the covering on here. The glue is setting, so it's still a little damp. This is going to be good, I think. It's just got the glue to set, and the book binding cover for the outside is done. So the next thing we'll do before we do the inside, which will be a part of, well, we may do part 4, maybe decorating the outside, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I don't think I'm going to glue anything on here other than maybe, I may put something, but I do want to put a frame, and I do want to put a tassel, a ring clasp here, for a charm and tassel. And so the next video may be decorating the outside cover, and then we'll do the inside because we want to decorate the outside in case anything needs to punch through. So this is going to need to dry, and thank you for watching. I hope that you are joining me on this journey to learn junk journals with me. This is part 3. And I'm looking forward to all the other parts. So thank you for watching with me. And until next time, we'll see you again. I have to say, I don't know what I meant. Until next time, we'll see you again. So until my next video, please give this a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. And join me on this journal to learn junk journals. Is this a blooper? I don't know. Anyway, join me on this journey to learn junk journals with me. And I'm not cutting that out because I think it's funny. So anyway, blooper reel and everything. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.